Hey guys, what's up? It's Karl back with another episode, and we're doing a What's on My iPhone video as we go into the new year, into 2021. A lot of you will ask what to stick on your device. I've got my latest iPhone 12 Pro Max here. The first thing that I want to chat about is, of course, the icon or the actual home screen setup. So many of you on social have asked, what the heck is this? How do you get your icons changed? If any of you didn't know, back in the update for iOS 14, you can finally change icons on an iPhone or an iOS device. You can do that for your iPad as well. So you can see that I've created this icon pack myself. It's a super minimal theme. I have both a light and dark mode to kind of mimic what Apple offers on its light/dark mode, obviously. We've got some white icons, some black ones, and of course, to keep my orange addiction going, you can see on the bottom, I've also created a custom orange soda pop, orange creamsicle, whatever you want to call it. I will have a name listed. You can also get orange icons. So if you want to help support the channel, links are down below where to check it out. If you do grab it, highly recommend, for my sake, at least have one icon in orange. Obviously, you don't have to if you don't want to. I will find out. Share them with me on social. I think you guys will love this. They're super clean, and it will make your home screen look unique. That's what we want to be in 2021, unique. So you can see on my home screen here, I've got the basics. So of course the calendar to kind of check what date it is so I can see what my upcoming to-do events are. We've got photos, the weather, clock, those are all pretty standard. Reminders is actually a stock Apple app that I highly recommend. It helps me manage my day both here in the studio, my own personal life. I love to create to-do lists, so you can see some of my older to-dos. Those were from the end of 2020, so I can actually check those off. I will actually add a reminder, finish off what's on my iPhone 2021. I almost made that mistake. So pretty self-explanatory, and that just helps me manage my day. For my browser, I am a bit weird. I still use Safari. I know most people use Chrome. That can be your personal choice. Next off, I have Wallet and my Outlook, or I guess my mail client of choice. I, for some reason, do not use Gmail. So for my work emails, I'm over on Outlook. You can see that as my main, I guess, client mail provider. And that's mainly because I have a Microsoft 365 membership, so I have Microsoft Word, Excel, the kind of works. On my bottom menu, we'll kind of get to that later, but you can see I do have a Gmail account, and that's actually my personal email, so hopefully I have nothing too personal here. You can see all of my online orders, FedEx, Canadian Tire, Amazon, we're all doing online shopping. My music app of choice is actually pretty simple. It's just podcasts, and from there I do listen to some of my favorite DJs that I follow. They release a weekly podcast, so if any of you know Nora En Pure, she's kind of a deep house DJ. I'm sure most of you do know Tiesto. My main social media app that I always go to, so this is on my home screen, Instagram. It is the sad addiction. I have spent so many hours, and I'm curious if I go into settings. So as an example, I'm averaging, I thought this was more, an hour and 10 minutes a day, but when we actually look at, say, my data usage, this is where it gets real sad. So my current billing period, I have rocked 412 gigs of data. 108 gigs of that is going to Instagram. Next to that, we just have these standard settings, and over on to the next app. That's actually DAZN. I put an ESPN icon. I think I have to redesign one of those icon packs myself, but I do love to watch soccer. I'm a big EPL fan, as you'll see later on. I also am into EPL fantasy, FPL. My team is doing shit. On the bottom dock, where the icons don't change, that's where I've got all of my orange icons. I've just got some pretty standard ones, of course, phone, messages. We've got Gmail, so that's my personal email, and at the very end, we just have the camera app. So that is my main home screen, and if we swipe on over, we can go to some of the apps that I use mostly this year, or I guess at the end of last year. These are pretty new themselves. So the first one is kind of no surprise. It's the main app that I use to make a lot of my investments, and if any of you are into Bitcoin or have seen what Bitcoin cryptocurrency has been doing in the past 30 days, it has gone to the roof, to the moon. Bitcoin, I think, has surged 50% in the past month. If we take a look right now at, say, Ethereum, another popular one, in the past 24 hours, we've gone up 13%. In the past week, 35%. So the app that I kind of manage all of my cryptocurrencies and investments in general is called Wealth Simple. If you want to join, links of course down below. You can check it out. Once again, not a financial advisor. These are just some of the companies that I personally invest in and believe in, and if you really need an expert, I definitely would recommend go seek one out. Don't listen to me, I'm just kind of sharing my portfolio. The next app that I've actually been using a ton, and this is the perfect time to introduce this as it just came out at the end of the year, plus new year, new you. This is Apple Fitness. So if you are making that New Year's resolution to get into shape, I can actually show you why I've been double fisting. So a lot of you know I'm an OG watch guy, so I never tried to take this thing off. I am wearing my Apple Watch more. So I have the stainless steel, of course, Series 6 on my right side. I am trying to motivate myself to go to the gym more or do at-home workouts because gyms have been closed. Toronto, for example, is still in lockdown. All of my workouts have to be at home, and I am trying to track them better using my Apple Watch. So the overall workouts are pretty decent. What I love is if you're new into the workout space, they have different levels for you to choose. So they're very beginner friendly, and you can do workouts if you have no equipment. So you can do strength training with, say, body weight. There's spinning, treadmill workouts if you happen to have some of that equipment at home. I would say something kind of weird. It is typical Apple. They really promote being in that Apple ecosystem. So they're always like, we gotta close the rings, listen through your AirPods. They always say those Apple tidbits. You don't have to wear AirPods to do their workouts, but they kind of incorporate that into their overall theme. So definitely worth checking out. I think if you have a new Apple Watch Series 6, you get 3 months free. And if not, it's around $8 to $9 a month. And that's pretty typical for most fitness-based apps like Peloton. So it's definitely something new and definitely worth trying to follow if you're in that New Year's resolution guide. So the next app is actually Adobe Lightroom, and it's the app that I use to edit all of my photos for both my YouTube stuff, my thumbnails, and of course on Instagram. If any of you are interested, I know that I already released an icon pack. If you want to see some of, say, my presets, I can try to work on those. I've got some pretty standard ones that I applied all my photos. So for example here, this was a shot we took at the end of the year. This is what the photo looks like originally, straight out of cam, and now with the extra edit. The next app that we're gonna go to is something that I've spent a lot of time on, actually myself. It is Disney Plus, and a lot of you have probably seen, everything on Netflix, everything on Crave. Disney Plus, of course, just another streaming service. If any of you are into Star Wars, I was so late to join the party. Mandalorian, I think, is hands down the best show that I've watched in maybe close to a decade. Like, it's up there with The Office for me. It is so good. Obviously, if you're a Star Wars fan, they make it so much better. All of the cool extra little tidbits, Easter eggs, they all tie in together. So I won't spoil it for you, but get on the Mandalorian train, only available on Disney Plus. It is worth it just for that show alone. The next app that I am switching to, I think I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, is actually Masterclass, and I got this as a holiday gift, as a Christmas gift. Probably the best gift that I've gotten in a long time. It is super handy if you want to learn any type of skill. So you can learn how to cook. You can learn how to do photography by some of the world's best experts. To be honest, I have been crushing. I've actually finished all of the dog training ones because we are getting a new puppy in the studio. Actually, 5 days from probably when you watch this video, I will become a puppy dad. So I need to know how to take care of it because I'm clueless. He will make an appearance on all of these videos. He'll be running around in the studio too. Okay, so next off, we're gonna switch into some lighter stuff. We're gonna go through some of my favorite games. So the first one, this is no surprise, this is just Mario Kart. If any of you are into the Mario Kart series, this is the perfect segue into mobile Mario Kart. It's great to just run a couple races from time to time. You of course need connection to Wi-Fi. It is completely free. You can of course have those add-on additions in the game if you wanna spend your money on some coins. You can buy new characters, extra little carts. They're carts, it's a Mario Kart. I feel like I used to be so good at this game on the OG N64. I sometimes get crushed online if you ever want to race me. The next game, this is a classic tower defense game. It's called Vengeance, and it's actually from the Kingdom Rush series, and they have a bunch of different games. This one actually focuses on the orc, or the bad guy side. You're fighting some of the elves, some of the humans. Usually you're those characters, so it's a nice little change them up. It's one of the cutest and best tower defense games that I've played. The graphics are gorgeous, it's easy, simple to play. It's a game that I've honestly been crushing a lot during lockdown / in isolation. We're all stuck inside, so you do need some good games. The next one, Among Us. This game kind of needs no introduction. It kind of took the gaming scene by storm at the end of last year. It is now officially available on mobile. And I know this game just dropped, and it is a bit tough to get into lobbies sometimes, but once you can or / do join, it is a lot of fun trying to figure out who the imposter is, who killed who. Obviously, it's great that this is now available on mobile because I think you could only get it on PC before, so that's super dope. The next game is called Apple Night. I don't think this has any relation to the company Apple. So this game is a pretty classic 8-bit platformer, and it kind of reminds me of a mix between Mario and Legend of Zelda. Most of you know that's my favorite game, so it's pretty fun to play. You can see that I'm just killing and mashing baddies here, and I have made it to the end of the first level. The last game that we're gonna go to is Samurai Jack. So I used to watch this show a ton when I was growing up, a pretty sweet game. It is an Apple arcade game, but this really showcases how powerful the new chipset is inside of the iPhone. The graphics are kind of next level. I wish, as a kid, I could get graphics like this, say, on a PlayStation 2. The fact that this game is completely handheld and we're getting graphics like this, of course, we're getting a smooth 60 frames. It's kind of next level where mobile gaming has kind of come to. So highly, highly recommended. Probably my best looking or the best looking app that we're gonna go through on today's episode. Definitely check it out if you were a fan of the series. The third last app that we're gonna go to, I mentioned that I'm a big soccer EPL fan. This is, of course, the fantasy app for Fantasy Premier League. My team suffered a bit on one of my last game weeks, but I do love to play fantasy. I'm generally a big fan, and we actually have a YouTube league that's going on. You can see that I'm all the way in 53rd place. There are quite a few of you that have joined. We've got over 190, so I'm sitting in the top third. I will try to climb back up to the top 20. Probably won't happen because I've butchered my team. The next app we're gonna switch to is just Reddit. And once again, tying into the theme of Fantasy Premier League, that's one of the favorite subreddits that I'm a part of. Reddit is an area where you can browse any interest, however random it may be. I can guarantee you can find a small community that have a similar passion. And the last app that I included, I think I've just used this a ton this year actually, is called Splitwise. It isn't really new, it's been around forever, but it's just something that I've used to help split the tabs with people that I don't really see in person anymore. So if there are any purchases that I make online, I can kind of keep a rolling tab with some of my friends. It's just a simple way to kind of split the bill, and it's probably important as we don't get to see our friends as much as we'd want anymore. Anyways, that is kind of all the apps that I am rocking on my iPhone 12 Pro Max in 2021. Of course, these apps will work across any iPhone that you may have. If you do end up downloading my icon pack, remember it's listed down below. You'll also get a step-by-step instruction guide of how to install all those icons and how to fully change your home screen. Remember my little disclaimer, if you do add them or if you do buy this icon pack, please have one of your icons in orange. Send me a screenshot. I'll definitely interact with it. And just kind of wishing everyone a very happy 2021. Hopefully this year will be better than last. I mean, I don't think it can get any shittier. Hope you guys enjoyed this vid, and if you have any extra app suggestions, leave them down below so people can check them out and I could possibly download them and feature them on my next What's on My iPhone video. We'll catch you guys then. Peace.